Hello there. Today's video is on CSS image sprites, which is not exactly a CSS thing, but it's using CSS in such a way that it speeds your web page up a little bit. So I've got this page. It's pretty basic. It's got these little buttons here at the top for navigation, 10 little buttons all in a row. There's the code for it. So let's go over the code really quickly. The text here at the bottom is just notes for me, so just don't even pay attention to it. So let's say, for example, we've got starting out, we've got a clear out all the margins and the padding, because by default, Firefox is going to have some margin and padding on some of these HTML elements. So, it's a good idea to clear that out on your CSS. Then there's a background of light gray and a padding of 5 pixels on the nav. You can see the light gray and a little bit of gray up at the top and the bottom. That's where the padding comes into play. The text align center on the nav, I guess I could have combined those two, but that's fine. So that centers all of the buttons. The nav button. Alright, so this is where all the magic happens. The nav button background color of fire brick. They've all got a width of 70 pixels, a height of 60 pixels. Oops. Border radius of 20 pixels. And vertical align top. That's an important tag because sometimes your stuff doesn't line up quite right. So let's go ahead and hit enter and get rid of that. Oops, save that and refresh. And you can see how contact us is now pushed up a little bit because it's on 2 lines. That's what that vertical align top does. Oops. It says, oh, no, all of these guys are supposed to be lined up along the top. Whatever's inside of well, the nav buttons are all supposed to be lined along the top. So then we got nav button hyperlink, which each one of these guys is a hyperlink. Text decoration none. That removes the default blue color and the underline off the text. Font size 14 pixels. That sets font size. Color white font is what we're using here, and font weight makes it bold. So I'm going to wind up modifying the buttons because save that, refresh, make sure it didn't break anything, because we're going to wind up using this image. So let's say, for example, you want each one of these buttons to have an image on it. So we're going to do a let's hit enter and space this out a little bit. There we go, background, and it's going to have a URL of open parentheses, open quotes. I think I called it sprites.png. Yeah, there we go. They all have the same little background image. It's not quite lined up right, so I'm going to do a background size of 700 pixels by 100 pixels. No, not 100, 60 pixels, because that's the size of my buttons. But you may be saying, whoops, background size. Well, oh, so let's do the semicolon at the end. That's what I forgot. There we go. But you may be saying, why is this 700 pixels by 600 pixels? Well, the idea is that I want each one of these buttons to have a different background on them. So what I've done here, I have a copy here on my desktop. Oh, image sprites. The checkerboard you'll see is just a clear background, but I've combined all my different images into one large image and stuck them side by side, and I'm going to position the background so that only one color shows. So let's go ahead and get back to the CSS. There we go. So we'll do a nav, and we'll do an nth child of open parentheses and and we'll do an nth child of 1. So we can specify the first one winds up having a background position of negative 70 pixels. That'll move it 70 pixels to the left, and 0 pixels down, because it's the right height, it's just in the wrong position. So now let's refresh, and that slides that image slightly to the left. The hammer and wrench, or spanner if you're English, is right here, and it just slid that image over to the left. So now you can see that little bullhorn, but that's still not quite right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth item, so I want to slide it over by 210. Save that, refresh. There we go. There's a picture of the house. The next is for her, and I think for her, yeah, it's the last item on the list. So let's copy this right now. Copy, and we're going to do the second child. Number 2 is going to be negative 630. So we'll slide it all the way over. There we go. I wish I'd have done this graphic a little differently because you can't see that she's wearing a little dress. But let's go ahead and move that over. Let's make this text a little easier to read by doing that. Okay. There we go. So copy that, paste that in there, and we're going to do what's next. Dine, which is number 4. Oh, wait, we didn't do number 4 here. Number 3. Number 3 is for him, and him is actually the 5th item. So we're going to do minus 280, right? There we go. Background position for the 4th item, which is dine. Where's dine? That's the 3rd item, so that'll be negative 140. Play is it's a little golf flag. That's number 4, so we'll do negative 280. I think that should do it. Oh, 350. There we go. Oh wait, I'm changing the wrong one. Dine, play. So the 5th item is play, which would be negative, what was it, 280? No, 350. 350. There we go. Shop winds up being, well, right after that. So let's go ahead and paste that in there. That'll be position number 6. And the background position of 280. Nope. Oh, 420. There we go. Travel is immediately after that. So we'll paste that. Number 7 winds up being 490, negative 490. Save that. Refresh. You can't see this little picture of an airplane. Local Biz actually wanted the hammer and wrench. Contact us, which would be number 9. And the contact us is the second thing on the list. So we'll do negative 70 to slide it over by 70 pixels. And the weather, which would be number 10. And the weather is near the end, so it's right before women, which would be 630, 560. Yeah, it's cloud and the sun. So the benefit of this is you load one image for all of these little buttons, and because each time you have to do a background image, your browser does another query, which slows down your server a little bit more. But this way, you can just load one image, and it's not really a big image, so it's not going to take a lot of time. Theoretically, the text slows things down because I have to put in these extra 9 lines of text, but really that's negligible. A lot of companies use this, so let's look up Twitter sprites and images. And this is Twitter's sprites. Well, it's somebody's sprites. I don't know whose it is. But you can see it's got all these little arrows and all these little logos that get used on buttons and things like that. So a lot of people use these sorts of things to do. Oh, there's the Twitter one, I think. Your original image. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, because there's the birds and hashtags and home, and you just have one image to load up all your buttons, and the actual size of this is nothing. So that's what an image sprite does. It's you put all those little background images that people don't really notice in one image. The web browser will cache them, and then when it goes to a new page, it won't have to query so much. You load one image instead of loading 10 images. Speeds up your page quite a bit. So there you go, that's image sprites. Hopefully you've learned something and you'll get to use this in the future. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the experience of this tutorial, why not share it with your friends?